Hi, this is Mike Martin from Backup Power Source, and we're bench testing the BPS 4448M for Dr. Valutis. Right now, you'll notice I've got it hooked up to a 48 volt power source, hooked up to where you normally put it into the battery banks. I'm going to turn it on right now at the main breaker. This is the DC disconnect. Now it's on, but it's not all the way on because we've got to turn on the remote. I'm programming the remote right now so that it will be preset for you, but this will be a good way for you to be able to tell what the values are. Right now it's reading DC 49.6. Batteries could use a charge, but they're okay for right now. I'm going to turn on the inverter now. That's this button right here, inverter. You can hear it humming. It's on. Now to test that, we're going to plug in a light to the GFCI power source right here. First I'm going to turn on the breaker, general outlet breaker. Then I'm going to plug in this and turn on the light. See? Light works. It's working great. Okay, so now we'll turn this off and I'm going to proceed with programming the unit. What I'm using is page 18 of the manual for the remote. Okay, you see it's inverting. Now we're going to press shore. And you'll see it says inverting at 30 amps. That's our recommended setting for it. Then we press AGS. Okay, we've got that. Now let's go to meter. You'll see it says 48.4. This is the way you're telling what your batteries are running at. Now I'm going to start setting it up. I'll press the setup button right here. Okay, I'm basically going to go through the setup menu on this to show you what the standard settings that we have done and why we've done that for you. I start by pressing setup and I get to search watts. We set the search watts at 0. Okay, so I've got it on search watts. I'll press the button and I have it at search off. That's what we've set it at. If you want, you can adjust it up so that it will have different wattages. We set it at off. Okay. And I'm selecting it. Now I'm going to go to the low battery cutout menu. Now the low battery cutout is where your system is set for depth of discharge. It's how much the battery has left in it when it shuts off to preserve the batteries. Since your clinic is rarely going to use these, we're going to set it so that it runs the batteries down to 80% depth of discharge, which is for a 48 volt system. It is 36 volts DC. This will allow your batteries to go down to 80% depth of discharge and it will give you the longest backup time. So we're down to 30. Now I'm selecting it. Okay, next we're going to go to the absorb time. It's going to be at 2 hours. That applies to the charging rate. That's how fast it charges. Okay, then we're going to go to battery type. These batteries that you're going to be using are AGM2s. That's basically the MK Decas that we have installed in this. Other batteries will be different settings. This is AGM2, so I'm selecting it. I'm going to 4 charge rate. This is how fast your batteries are charged. It's better to charge them at a little slower rate. It's better for the batteries. If you need a fast recharge, it's good to charge them at a higher rate. It's at max charge 100%. We're going to change it down to 80%. Now I'm selecting it. Okay, next we're going to VAC dropout. Now VAC dropout that's the amount of voltage AC coming into the line. If the AC voltage from the utility drops down to 80 volts AC, the inverter will automatically kick on if it's lower than 80. We're setting it there. If you want, you can set it all the way up to 100% UPS mode, which means the inverter will come on whenever the line flickers. That's good for if you're running computers or something like that. That's UPS mode. However, we're going to turn it down to 80 because we don't want the inverter kicking on and off randomly. So we're setting it at that. Okay. Then it's power save. This basically is talking about the backlight on this machine. We're going to set it for 15 minutes. Okay. Next is screen setup. Contrast 100%. Okay. Brightness 50%. Okay, so that's the screen setup. So that concludes the setup portion of this. There's another button on the side. It's tech. Now tech should be only used in concert with the tech support at Magnum Power because it's internal settings that they use to set up the machine in the first place, and it should be used in concert with them when they're on the line. Thank you. That concludes my bench test. Thank you very much. Turn it off now.